shall we? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Our day is beginning, there's so much to do. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, boys and girls. Let's do our ABCs, shall we? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And our letter today is the letter W again. Do you remember it goes like worms and wizards, wonderful, wacky, and witches. And that's what we're talking about today, but not scary witches, some fun witches. So let's do some counting. How about we count up to the number 10? Oh, and I hear somebody say they want to count to 100. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then up to 100 by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Very good. Now let's take a moment and have a story.
Me First by Helen Lester, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Pinkerton was pink, plump, and pushy. He would do anything to be first, even if it meant bouncing off bellies, stepping on snouts, or tying tails. So he's rather a bully. Me first, he cried when he had been last in line and finished first down the slide. Me first, he cried at story time, settling on his round bottom with his big head stuck right smack in front of the book. And every day in the school troughateria, me first, rang out, and there was Pinkerton. Look, you can hardly see him. He has so much food. One Saturday, Pinkerton's Pig Scout troop went on a day trip to the beach. Pinkerton was first on the bus and sat in the front row. He was first off the bus, first in the water, first out of the water, and first into the picnic basket. My. After lunch, the Pig Scouts decided to go for a hike. Off they went, with Pinkerton leading the line, of course. As the Pig Scouts marched across the sand, they heard a faint voice far in the distance. The voice called out, "Who would care for a sandwich?" Pinkerton pricked up his pointy ears. Care for a sandwich? Oh yes, me first, he thought, and he began to trot ahead of the others. Soon he heard the voice again, closer and louder this time. "Who would care for a sandwich?" "Me first!" cried Pinkerton, kicking up sand and leaving the other Pig Scouts far behind. His imagination almost burst. Peanut butter, jelly, 2 tomatoes, 7 pickles, a slab of cheese, a blob of mayo, a big smear of mustard, all for me first. "Who would care for a sandwich?" Now at full gallop, Pinkerton shrieked, "Me first!" Over a sandy hill he flew, and kerplop! He landed face to face with a small creature with a bump on her nose and fur on her toes. "I'm glad to see you," she cackled. "I sure could hear you coming. Me first, me first, me first. I guess you really would care for a sandwich." "Oh, yes, indeed," replied Pinkerton. He jumped up and down so fast his teeth jiggled. "Good," cackled the small creature. Pinkerton waited. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. "Well," he asked. "Well, what?" replied the small creature. "The sandwich," begged Pinkerton. "Where is the sandwich?" The small creature curtsied. "You're looking at her," she went on. "I am a sandwich, and I live in the sand, and you said you would care for a sandwich, so here I am. Care for me." All Pinkerton could say was, but I, taking no notice, the sandwich continued. "You said me first. You wanted to be the first to care for me. Well, congratulations. Now just come along to my sand castle." Grabbing Pinkerton firmly by the sleeve, she led him around a few bends. Oh, look at her castle. Before he could say, "But I," again the gate to her castle closed. Whoomp! "All right, my pink, plump, and pushy one. Now you care for me. You may have the honor of being the first to powder my nose and comb my toes." Seeing no way out, Pinkerton powdered her nose and combed her toes. Ooh, look at the hair on her toes. "Next," she crowed, "you may be the first to put my supper in a bucket and feed me with a shovel." Pinkerton looked around. He had no choice. He put her supper in a bucket and fed her with a shovel. Rubbing her tummy, the sandwich spoke on. "Finally, after you've had the privilege of being the first to wash my dishes and sweep my castle and do my laundry and curl my hair and tuck me in, you may be the first to tell me a bedtime story." So Pinkerton washed the dishes. Oh my goodness, looks like there's a couple weeks worth there. And swept the castle. Had to get all that sand out of there. He did the laundry and curled the sandwich's hair and tucked her in. The sandwich stretched and yawned loudly. "Oh, now the story. I need my story." While Pinkerton was so tired he could barely speak. "I don't know any stories," he whimpered. "Then how about making up something? Oh, how about something concerning a pushy pig who always wanted to be first?" Pinkerton sighed and began. Once upon a time there lived a pig who was always wanted to be first, until one day he met a wise sandwich. "Wise and beautiful," cut in the sandwich. A wise and beautiful sandwich who showed him that first was not always best. "Aha!" cackled the sandwich. She gave Pinkerton a slow, serious, and meaningful wink. "Have you learned something?" "Oh, yes, yes, yes," said Pinkerton. "I promise I have." "Well, in that case, thanks for the care. Goodbye, and good luck." She opened the gate, and Pinkerton sped off so fast he didn't even notice the delicious sandwich she held out to him. He was just in time to catch the bus. On he scooted, pink, plump, and glad to be last. The end.
story, and now I'll show you the craft we're going to make this week. We're going to make a silly witch. So you will start with your paper plate. You'll glue on the eyes and take a marker to put the little dots on the eyes. Then there's a rectangle piece of paper like this that I made, cut out a nose. That will get glued on. I'm not very good at holding this, but let me see if I can show you. So you hold that up with the nose in the middle. You have little pieces of hair. So you'll put 2 pieces of hair on each side. And then put her hat on top and draw a smile. And maybe you want to put a wart on her nose like I did. And that's our craft for today. Are you ready for another story? Boy, this time goes fast.
Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and long ginger hair in a braid down her back. How the cat purred, and how the witch grinned, as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed, and how the cat spat, when the wind blew so wildly, it blew off the hat. "Down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, "I am a dog, as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me?" "Yes," cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged his tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. "Down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, "I am a bird, as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me?" "Yes," said the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The bird shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the backland beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. "Oh, down!" cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on the fold of her cloak, "I am a frog, as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me?" "Yes," said the witch, so the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. "I'm a dragon, as mean as can be, and witch with French fries tastes delicious to me." "No," cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. "Help!" cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, "Just this once, I'll have witch without fries." But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, "Buzz off! That's my witch." The dragon drew back and he started to shake. "I'm sorry," he spluttered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog, down climbed the cat, and "Phew!" said the dog. "And thank you, oh thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you I'd be in that dragon's inside." Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone, throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, and while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! And out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. And the witch tipped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone.
Well, I hope you liked that story. It is one of my favorites, and I hope it wasn't too scary. Now, before I go, I just wanted to remind you that it's not too late to sign up on online for the program, and we appreciate when you do because it helps us with our records for the state. We have the new story stroll up here, number 1 Sam, and also it's not too late to come up and do the fairy tale I Spy with some of the businesses up here. Still a lot of fun to do. So let's conclude with our last song, shall we?
The more we get together,
the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. And so, I hope I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.